Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Push Poppy Farm. I hope you are doing well. We had a wonderful time at the Ohana Festival in Southern California, and we're back now. We actually got back on Tuesday late afternoon, but it was raining yesterday and most of last night. So we got 1/4 of an inch, which is such a blessing, especially this early in the season. So what I'm out here to do today in our home garden is sow garlic and onions. So I'm hoping that the onions that I put out, I'm going to put some in protective cover and some in ground. And we'll see what happens. Because last time we were out here, I planted a bunch of mustard, something that the rats don't usually eat, and they ate it all overnight. So I want to put some of these onions under cover because I want at least some onions this year. And that means if they eat the ones that are in the ground, then I still have some that are protected. So before we get started on that, let me just give you an update of how things are looking in the garden now. And it's pretty good. So we've got this bed here that has broccoli in it and cabbage, red acre cabbage on this end, and some kind of broccoli that I can't remember and I don't know where the tag is on this end. I have it all listed in my online floor plan. But everything looks great. It's all still here and it's growing. And after this rain with all the nitrogen in the rain, things are already looking happier. And this bed was the most recent bed we planted. This is also broccoli. It's 2 different varieties. I do have the tags in here. Can't remember what they are and I can't see the tag right now, but I also have a little tiny row of radishes, which have all germinated. And I actually tried to space those seeds apart so that I could get a good head of radish without having to thin them, because I don't want to have to take this off until it is time. So up here in this part, we still have this bed over here, which I can plant, although I do need to get some irrigation to add to that. And then this bed in here, which is also ready to plant. And the circular bed, which is ready to plant. I just need to cut tops for them. Okay, and this is our carrot and turnip bed. And the carrots are doing great. They're all germinated. They're coming up. We also have some really cute little mushrooms in here from the compost. So I tried to sow these carrots in a way that they had some space, so I don't have to come through and thin. They're not ready for thinning yet, but when I do, I'll have to take the top off and do that. But otherwise, things are looking good. Everything germinated. This bed is empty, but it didn't used to be. It had collards in it, Georgia Southern collards, and it also had Copenhagen Market cabbage, and overnight it was all eaten. I don't know exactly how they got in, but there is a bit of an opening here, and if they squeezed through all of the hardware cloth in here, between here and here, they could have gotten in. So I'm going to take this lid off today, or at least part of it, so I can fold it back. I'm going to cinch down these potential opening access things, and we're going to put some onions in here. I think those are going to be nice and safe in there. And then we have this bed here, which has Brussels sprouts on this end and broccoli de ciccio on that end, and everything's looking good. So I'm very, very happy about that. These cages are working as long as there is no possible entry point. When there is, they get in and they eat it all. And then this big bed is going to be our garlic bed. It's a nice size bed. It's never had garlic in it. So I don't run the risk of garlic rust. I mean, it's still possible to get it, but we have had rust in other beds at the far end of the garden. And so I'm hoping that moving them down here, the rats should leave them alone. Every time I've ever grown garlic, they have not eaten it. It is pretty noxious, and even when they're hungry, they haven't eaten it. So we're gonna give it a go and do it unprotected like I've always done. The garlic and used to be the mustard were the only things that they never touched before. So we'll see what happens. I think because I'm restricting the chicken feed now, they can't get to it overnight. You know, they've really been desperate to get it whatever they can. They're still actually defoliating my blackberry canes. So they're eating all the leaves off of those that keep popping up. So I don't know. We'll see over the winter. Things aren't going to put on a lot of growth. So there won't be much out here for them to eat, but they definitely are still trying. So, all right. All I need to do in this bed, because it's got fresh compost in it, it's got irrigation in it, I'm just going to drill some lines, put down some Sure Start fertilizer, and then we're going to place the garlic. So what kind of garlic are we planting? Now, in the past, I've done multiple varieties for fun to see what works best, what we like, and all that kind of stuff. This year, I'm only doing 2 varieties. That's it. And I got them from Botanical Interest this time, but I've grown both of these before. This one is Inchelium Red. It is a soft neck garlic. Now, soft necks actually do best in warmer climates like mine, but we get cold enough in the wintertime that I can do a hard neck and get scapes in the spring, which is also awesome. So we're doing music. This is a great one. It gives nice large heads. And so, you know, I know these 2, they're proven in my garden. And so this is what we're doing. And I actually only have 2 big heads of each. That's going to be plenty. In the past, I've grown so many that they sometimes, especially the soft neck, start to well, actually it's the hard neck that breaks down faster. But, you know, they'll be in my pantry and then they'll just kind of start getting soft. They've not even rotted. They're just kind of dehydrating out before we can use them all. So I'm not going to overdo it this year. We're just going to have however many cloves. I mean, there's still going to be a lot of cloves in each of these, and I have 2 of each. So we'll still have plenty of cloves. It'll be a nice full bed. And I'm hoping that as long as I give it a dose of copper fungicide in the early spring, probably over the winter and then the early spring, that we won't have any garlic rust and we'll be good to go. I did that last year and it worked great. We didn't get rust. So yeah. And this is part of the crop rotation. I've already grown garlic in all 4 of the raised beds in the original part of the garden. And so I don't really want to repeat that spot for a number of years. So we're moving on to a new bed this year. All right, so what I'm going to do now is break these apart so that they're individual cloves. Then we'll drill our lines, put in some Sure Start fertilizer, place our cloves. I'm going to put them about 4 inches apart. You can do 6. There's been lots of, on Epic Gardening channel, they've done a lot of experiments on different placement and different depths of growth and stuff, but about 4 inches is great. If you have elephant garlic, you're going to want to give them more space. So I'm going to get this project started. I'm looking forward to getting this garlic in the ground. The onions we'll do next. Okay, garlic is in. There's a little bit of space left in this bed. I've covered the garlic in straw. That helps just kind of keep the moisture in. So we have a little bit of space left in this bed. I'm going to pop some onions in this bed as well. This is yellow Granex, and there's a bunch of seedlings in each 6 cell. So I am going to pop one out, tease it apart, and put those in here. I think probably only 1 cell will fit because I want to give them plenty of space. And then we'll move on to planting up this other bed after I zip tie the potential access points. So let me get this in the ground. Whew, they smell really strong. Let me get this in the ground, and then we will get this bed renovated and go ahead and get the onions planted. Okay, so onions and garlic are in. As you saw, we got the garlic in here. I actually didn't label each one, but it doesn't matter because one's soft neck, one's hard neck, and it is very easy to tell once they start growing. We put a few yellow Granex over here. Boy, the wasps are out already, so are the flies. And then I took the top off of this, sealed the potential breach, and then put the rest of the yellow Granex in here and resealed the top. So hopefully they'll be good in there if nothing else that I planted out survives. Because over here we've got more mustard and more yellow Granex with a couple of safrane onions. I put the rest of the safrane onions in one of the wooden raised beds up at the front there. And then the final thing we did was plant these 2 new artichokes. The other ones that I have are green globe, and these are, I put the tag in there with them. It's a purple variety. So I just thought that would be fun. But because I know the rats eat the leaves off the artichokes as soon as they start sprouting, so like that little guy there, probably not going to last very long, I put them in cages. Now, can they dig under, and will they? Yes, eventually. I'm just hoping that for a little while this will protect them. So that's pretty much it for today, you guys. Got onions and garlic in, and I do still have all of this sedum that I need to get in the ground, but those will also be eaten if I put them in the wrong place. So I am holding off on those. The pest control guys need to come out and clean all the trap the trap boxes have been sprung. I don't know if there's actually rats in them, because a lot of times they'll spring them and won't get caught themselves. But they'll come back out for me and change those out. The ranunculus are arriving. The ranunculus corms are arriving on Monday. Very excited. So we will be pre-sprouting those, getting those going. I also placed an order yesterday, and I've never done this before, for, let's see, it's snapdragons and some other things for the farm, but they won't be delivered until the first week of December. Now, that I know for a lot of you is insane because you're already under snow. But for here, we might have already had our first frost or 2, but our ground never freezes, so we can plant all winter. So I got those. They were a pretty good price, and so I got extra trays. The seedlings in the greenhouse look great. We're going to plant those out as well. But I got extra seedlings, and we'll put those all out at the farm, and they'll be in December. So we'll do our first round of planting with the seedlings that we have now in the greenhouse this month in October. I do have a small wedding coming up on October 11th. That's next weekend. So it's great because I'll be able to use all the mums and the things that are still out there. So we'll start working on beds. Dylan's going to help me probably tomorrow. And we'll just start clearing beds that we know we're not using anything else in. Lisianthus wise, I am going to try to overwinter those. So I'm just going to leave them be. Those 2 rows are just going to be by themselves. And we'll cut them back to the ground and cover them with straw and stuff before we bed them down for the winter. I probably will erect hoop and row cover over them so they're just under frost cover. They can handle that, but it just is additional protection for them. And they'll just stay like that all winter. I did order more Lisianthus. Those won't arrive until the spring. So we'll have another place for them. I'll probably dig 2 extra beds down where the mums are and put those lizzies in there, because if this overwintering project works, then they will be perennials for me, which they can be in my zone. And then I won't have to buy lizzies anymore, and they'll be more and more productive every year. So those are the plans there. All the tulip bulbs and everything, those aren't going to arrive until the first week of November. And so we will wait, obviously, to do that. No narcissus this year. We've got tons of daffodils everywhere. I do not need to plant more daffodils. It's just going to be tulips. But I do have a bunch of other specialty bulbs that we'll be putting in containers and stuff here at the house. So we'll be doing those plantings as well. So be prepared for the next numbers of videos are going to be bed flipping at the farm, which is becomes pretty rote and automatic, but that is where we are in the season. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to feel so good to get a fresh start and have fresh, beautiful beds. I'm going to go ahead and place the compost order because I don't like to pull things out of beds until I'm ready to put something in them. I want to leave living things in the soil for as long as possible to keep the soil microbes healthy and happy. I don't want beds to sit fallow. So we'll probably start working on things that are already dead, pulling them out of there. And if I have seedlings that I'm ready to transplant, I do have a bed that's already ready. It just needs to be weeded. I was going to put sunflowers in there. Got some sunflowers out of it, but now it's time to pull them all out. So yeah, so we'll be just making some progress out there and enjoying it. So that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out. One other thing, Mike is really sick. We came back from the festival. He is sick with something. He took a COVID test. I don't know what the results are. So I'm sure I'm going to catch whatever he has. It's either a bad cold or it's COVID. I don't know. So if there's another lull in videos, it's probably because I'm sick. So we'll just see. But you know, that's what happens when you share a bed with somebody. It doesn't matter how you know, and you're generally contagious before you really realize you're super sick. So yeah, I'm sure I've already caught the bug. I was just waiting for it to start making an appearance. So we'll get what we can get done before I get sick, and then, you know, we'll just probably have to take some days off. So in the interim, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden. And if your garden is going to sleep for the winter, I hope you have a wonderful time dreaming and planning for your next garden. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.